Do this with supermarket basil, and it will grow lush and aromatic. When you buy basil from the supermarket, it starts to wilt after a few days. That's because it doesn't have enough space to grow. Supermarket basil isn't just one plant. It's a bunch of seedlings packed together. Each stem is a separate plant that needs room to develop. Take the basil out of the plastic pot and gently divide it into several smaller clumps. Prepare larger pots so that each seedling has space to grow. Add fresh soil, then make a hole in the center. Place 2 small seedlings in each hole and cover them with soil, pressing it down lightly. To help basil grow even better, you need to harvest it the right way. Cut the leaves just above where the stems branch. This encourages more growth. Water regularly, ideally every 3 days, keeping the soil moist. You'll get healthy, lush, and fragrant basil that lasts for months. Rescue your supermarket basil and enjoy a constant supply of fresh leaves. You need to do this before planting onions. Your harvest will be abundant and of high quality. Besides preparing the soil for cultivation, it's also important to properly prepare the bulbs for planting. Start by selecting the bulbs, checking for any damage or disease. Then, sort them by size to ensure even growth. Soak the bulbs in water at the right temperature about 2 to 3 weeks before planting. Use water between 110 to 120 degrees, and leave them for 2 hours. Another soaking method is a salt solution. Add 1 tablespoon of salt to a jar of warm water and soak the bulbs for a maximum of 30 minutes. Then rinse them several times in clean water. You can also use wood ash, which contains valuable minerals and protects the bulbs. Add about 9 ounces to 1 gallon of water, mix well, and soak the bulbs for about 2 hours. These methods will help your onions stay healthier, more resistant to diseases, and sprout faster. I no longer buy cucumbers from the store. I grow my own seedlings at home. I cut a cucumber in half. As you can see, it contains fresh seeds. I fill a pot with soil and make a small indentation. Then I place 1/2 of the cucumber into it and cover it with soil. I set it on a sunny windowsill. To ensure the cucumber seedling grows healthy, remember a few simple rules. First, provide a sunny spot, as cucumbers thrive in warmth and light. Water regularly, but avoid overwatering. The soil should be moist, not wet. Use fertile soil, ideally enriched with compost. It's also beneficial to gently loosen the soil around the plant every few days to give the roots access to air. Once the seedling grows larger, consider using supports to help it climb upward. Most importantly, keep an eye on the plant, as a quick response to pests or diseases is key to a successful harvest. Add a tablespoon to each hole before planting tomatoes. Thanks to this, the tomatoes will be healthy and strong, and the fruits will be large and tasty like never before. Even the weakest tomato seedlings will thrive. Just 1 tablespoon of this powder is enough. This fertilizer poured into the hole for tomatoes will provide them with the necessary nutrients for growth. How to make it? Start by collecting eggshells. When you cook eggs or make scrambled eggs, save the eggshells. Leave the washed and clean ones to dry. Sometimes I crush them into smaller pieces earlier. It's easier to store them that way. They are perfect for tomatoes. Simply grind them into a fine powder. You can do this using a blender, but you can also use a coffee grinder. This powdery substance contains many minerals. Eggshells are primarily a source of calcium. Calcium is needed by tomatoes to fruit healthily. When planting tomatoes in the field, add a tablespoon of ground eggshells to each hole. 1 tablespoon per hole. You'll protect the tomatoes from diseases resulting from a lack of calcium or other minerals. An example is tomato fruit rot. Just a bit of eggshells, and you'll avoid such problems. And this method works well when you have limited space in the garden, but still want to grow beautiful carrots without thinning. Let me show you how to prepare these containers for planting. Peel off the seal of each container, but don't throw them away. Pour some water into the bottom. You can do this indoors under the tap. After a while, they'll soften, Then you can make a hole in each compartment of the container. Once they dry, they're ready to use. While the containers will soften in moist soil, this method is good to start with. The seals will serve as bases. Fill the containers with soil. Take carrot seeds. The best ones to use are pelleted seeds. They're larger and easier to handle. I happen to have regular ones. You can also use this method for parsley or radish seeds. Place one seed in each compartment, press them into the soil. Sow carrots into all the containers this way. Take the prepared containers to the field. If you have raised beds, this method works perfectly. Just line up the containers next to each other. I have 10 of them, so I'll arrange them in 2 rows of 5. Cover with a layer of soil and firm it down. You can also lay out the containers in rows and plant onions between them. This will ensure exceptionally successful yields. I'll reveal a gardening secret to you. With this, your flower pot will bloom longer. First, place your chosen pot on a stable surface and add the first layer of suitable soil. It should be light, well-draining, and rich in nutrients to give the bulbs a good start. Insert the bulbs of the first flowers, choosing the largest ones and placing them at the correct depth. Make sure you position them with the flat side down so they can root properly and sprout. Add another layer of soil, then place the second layer of bulbs for different flowers. But remember, don't plant them too tightly. Plants need space to grow. Again, add soil, and then the final layer of bulbs for the next flowers. Choose the smallest and latest blooming plants. Finally, cover everything with soil, level the surface, and you're done. With layered planting, the flowers will bloom one after another, creating a spectacular effect all season long. Don't forget to water regularly to encourage continued blooming. Since I've been having back problems, I've been using a broom for planting. Also, prepare some empty bottles. You'll see that planting has never been easier. Let me show you a great trick. Cut off the bottom of the bottle. Then, make 4 incisions on the remaining part, but not all the way to the cap. Cut out 2 sections from the 4 walls created by the incisions. This will create a peculiar funnel shape with 2 longer sides. Repeat this process with the other bottles. Cut off the bottoms of each bottle and make similar incisions as with the first bottle. You'll find that the longer these 2 sections are, the better. Get a broom or a brush ready. It can be an old one or something you don't use. The longer the brush, the better. I happen to have one like that. It's important that it has a pole attachment. Get rid of those synthetic fibers, remove them all, or at least the outer ones. Place the first bottle edge onto the brush. Ensure that the longer sides wrap around the brush and the bottle's edge is beneath it. Attach the bottle to the brush using hot glue. If you're using a wooden broom or brush, a staple gun will suffice. Attach the subsequent bottles in the same manner. Since this brush isn't too long, 4 bottles were enough. And there you have it. Attach the pole and head to the field. Take the bulbs you're planting. Mark the holes with your bottle brush. The soil should be well loosened. You don't have to bend over to mark the planting spots. Place the bulbs in the holes and cover them with soil. And that's it. You can make such a marker yourself in a few minutes, and it will be just what you need. Brilliant, isn't it?